Hey everybody, it's your bro Luke Feast, back at you with another video. I'm gonna create an animation. I'm gonna go into the writing, some storyboarding, I'm gonna draw some frames, I'm gonna color it, I'm gonna voice it, and I'm gonna animate it. I'm gonna use a software called Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Animate, and Adobe Illustrator. I hope you learned something from this, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. I'm gonna get into the first step of this animation. I'm gonna get into the script writing. So I have a basic breakdown for how the script will flesh out. The first part of the script is Trey is at school with Ethan and Andy, but then he finds out he has to go to church. So he tries to insult Mr. Bird so he can get out of going to church by getting detention. But Mr. Bird just laughs and thinks it's funny, so Trey has to go to church. So let's just dive into the script writing process. Whatever, avoiding church will be the working title. Written by Luke Feast. When you start the script, you can go to shot, cut to, and then you can do the colon, and then enter. I'm gonna start with the scene heading now. So the scene heading shows where the characters are, if it's inside or outside a location, and what time of day it is. INT for interior, or EXT for exterior. So I'm gonna go INT. How about like the school hallway? Daytime. And then we can start with the action tab, what's happening. When you introduce a character, you have to capitalize the character's first and last name. Trey Fisher. And then you parenthesize his age, 18. And then you can add the other characters. And what are they doing? Then you can add the action. Maybe they're standing in the hallway. So we can have our standing in the hallway. Notice how I capitalize standing in the hallway. When you have an action in your script, it's important to capitalize what you want people to notice in your screenplay. And then you can have dialogue. We can have someone say something. Maybe Ethan says something stupid. Do you want to play Minecraft after school? And then we can see Joe enter and say, Minecraft is for losers. And maybe Andy can say, what gave you permission to say what is and isn't for losers? And then we can cut to a new scene. Okay. We can click transition and we can go cut to, or maybe he's just in Mr. Bird's classroom. Maybe Trey tries to get himself in trouble so he doesn't have to go to church. What should he say? Mr. Bird, you need to shave, you weird hippie. Also, I stole your stapler last week. And then maybe we can cut to the punchline right here. Transition, interior, church. When you end the script, you can go just cut to, go to the character tab, and go end. Now, I'm gonna get into the storyboarding. What? Now, I'm gonna get onto the storyboarding. I'm gonna draw the frames of what I'm gonna animate in the project. So I'm gonna have like a supporting shot of where they are. Like here's the school, the American flag in the front of their school. Here's the front door, some windows, grass, valley, high school. That's not an actual high school. I live in a town called Grass Valley, so maybe the three are hanging out by the locker room. Okay, so here's the locker room, like that. We can have Trey right here, and then there's Andy right here. Oh yeah, Joe walks by. Trey with the spiky yellow hair right here. And we see Joe right here. He's kind of the jockey character, and he says Minecraft's for nerds or whatever. And then maybe we can get a close-up of Andy saying, who gave you permission to say what is and isn't for losers? we can have Trey is a close-up right here. Oh crap, I have to go to church. A close-up of Ethan saying, "You're religious?" Maybe we can go back to these three characters and all the three characters. And Trey is talking in this scene. So he says, "No, my parents want me to go with my grandparents." And maybe Ethan says, as a close-up, "That's a good idea." And we cut to, so here's the back of the classroom. Maybe he's right here grading papers or something. And we see Mr. Bird with his beard. "Mr. Bird, you're a hippie." And we get a close-up of Mr. Bird laughing. And then we cut to Trey in church. "Yeah, I didn't work. I'm in church now. I didn't get to get detention instead of church." Now, I'm going to draw a little bit of frames for my animation. Now, I'm going to draw a background. I got most of the drawings I can use for the episode, but I do need to draw a background of the church. That's the chair I was drawing. And now I'm going to add a cross right here. Maybe just like a little simple cross. Maybe the bottom of the wall thing. Now I'm going to ink it. And then like grass, I don't know. Okay, that's all I really need to draw. Now, I'm gonna get onto the voicing.
Do you want to play Minecraft after school? Do you want to play Minecraft after school?
Minecraft is for losers. Who gave you permission to say what is and isn't for losers? Who gave you permission to say what is and isn't for losers?
Well, I can't. I have to go to church.
Mr. Bird, you need to shave, you weird hippie. Also, I stole your stapler last week.
Why would I give you detention? You didn't do anything wrong.
Wow! Now, I'm gonna get into the coloring. After I drew that picture, the only picture I needed for the scene, or the short episode we're making, I'm gonna use a software called Adobe Illustrator. Oh yeah, I have to scan it. New scan. I'm gonna make it 600 dots per image. That way, I can zoom into it easier. If it was 300, then if I were to zoom into it, it would get more pixelated. So I'm just gonna go scan. Bye-bye. Now I'm gonna open that file. If you wanna make the background transparent, you can go View in your project. You can go Show Transparency Grid on View, or you can go Ctrl-Shift-D as a command. So I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna go Transform, Rotate, 90 degrees. If I want to manipulate the background, let's say I want to color it. Oh, cool, that's a cool background. I want to color it. I can't click it and color it. It's not working because you have to do this thing called image trace. And you go to Window, Image Trace, and I can just drag this into here. And I can go, for this, I can go black and white logo. Then you have to go to Object Expand, and now I can manipulate it. Animate the chair, maybe like this color. You can do Alt and scroll to make it zoom in. Now I'm gonna animate this here and make the floor maybe like light gray. That looks okay, I guess. No, it's too bright, this color. No, this, that should be fine. I'm gonna make the windowsill. I'm gonna make the grass outside the window, and the tree branch thing, and the cross. That's a good background. Now I'm gonna export that, and I'm gonna export it as a PNG instead. I use the PNG file. That way, I can make it other and export it as 600 DPI. Now, I'm gonna finally get onto the animation. So yeah. Now, I'm gonna get into the animation. I burnt my finger on the coffee cup. I'm gonna use Adobe Animate and I'm gonna use Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm gonna create a new project for the Adobe Premiere Pro. This is the project panel and this is the timeline which you work with the project. I imported that video we worked with. I took a couple of takes of each line and I'm gonna choose which one I like the best. I'm also gonna go on Adobe Animate, this software. Create new. If you click HTML5 canvas, then you can only work with one scene. If you work with ActionScript 3.0, there's more settings you can work with. And we got this blank canvas with one layer.
Do you want to play Minecraft?
I'm gonna have that as the first line. So I'm gonna export this. And this is the project panel right here. This is the first layer. I'm gonna put the audio into the first layer. So I can do this right here, and the audio is now in this one layer. So you got the audio layer right here, and now I'm gonna add a new layer for the background. Add layer, which is the square with a plus in it, and you can zoom into the timeline. If you see this blue highlight right here, that's the layer you're working with, and if you drag high school in, then the layer 2, that's where it's going to be in layer 2. So this is transform tool, and this is how you scale it and rotate it. But if it's not here, then you're like, oh, where is it? If you click Command T, it will show up. Or go to Windows and transform. So now I'm going to add the characters. I'm going to add Trey. These are all the files for Trey imported. Okay, so I'm going to make Trey as a new layer. And then the torso, that feels a little big. I'm gonna scale it smaller, like this one. We can scale it in. If you click the asset warp tool, which looks like a thumbtack, and click it where the elbow, where the anchor point is, it will do that. One right here, and one right here on the arm. And check this out. I'm Trey and I have a cool arm. Yeah, whatever. I can also, instead of moving it with this, I can just go to the position and size tab. So I have all these characters. The one, Ethan, I'm gonna go to Andy. I'm gonna import his arms. Same thing, asset warp tool so we can manipulate it. We might not even need to manipulate this one. Oh, I'm gonna save this just in case it crashes. Now I'm gonna add Ethan. So I'm gonna have his legs forward. Then we can add the torso. G! It's my G! Jicka, Gia, what? I love you. I'm gonna set you down now. Now it's time to keyframe. So I got the basic outline for this first shot. So when you add a keyframe, you can use this. If you want to see what's behind the frame, you can click this onion skin and you can choose how far back you see the frame. Right here. And we can add the mouth movements like this. So we see him going like that. And then we can click the asset warp tool, click his arm, and maybe we can zoom into Ethan so we can see what we're working with a little better. And we can rotate it like this. And we do that over and over again. Add another keyframe and another mouth movement. Also, if you don't want to click the tools all the time, you can click V for the selection tool or W for the asset warp tool. Also important to add the blinking. So I'm gonna add some blinking right here. This right here. We can scale this down for a couple of frames and then take it out. And I just keep going with this.
Do you want to play Minecraft after school?
Minecraft is for losers. Who gave you permission to say what is and isn't for losers? Good point. Well, I can't. I have to go to church.
You're religious?
No, but my parents want me to go with my grandparents.
That sounds worse than detention.
This gives me an idea. Mr. Bird, you need to shave, you weird hippie. Also, I stole your stapler last week.
Trey, you're pretty funny.
Aren't you gonna give me detention?
Why would I give you detention? You didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that didn't work.
Thank you for watching that video. We have animation vlogs, we have media vlogs, films, tunes, and music. So stay tuned and have a great day.
Peace Film.